Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I just finished crying. So I'm here fresh with puffy eyes from crying. Beautiful, happy tears. One of my best friends, Sue Emery, who you've heard a lot about, she serves our community in a really big way on the financial side and making sure that you guys are taken care of as far as, making sure that you're properly structured, make sure that you're incorporated, make sure that you're doing your taxes properly, you're not paying too much in taxes and all the things. And so this woman she never ceases to amaze me, the thoughtfulness that she has time for. Like, this woman barely has time. Well, she doesn't have time. I was making fun of her yesterday. Her hair is horrible. Like, she has not had her hair done in I don't even know how long. And I'm like, dude, I don't care what you have to do. Get to the hair salon, girl. And she's like, I know. And somewhere along the lines, this woman, my sweet, sweet friend Sue, had time to build me and produce for me and have written for me a rap song. And sorry, husband calling, even though he knows I go live every day at 10. She had time to build me a flipping rap song? Like, what is happening? And so it's so funny. If you don't mind, can I just read it to you? And then I'm actually going to post the song in the group once I get a link to it. But I want to share this rap song. Yeah, thank you. Fresh. I want to share this rap song with you for a couple reasons. The word risk keeps coming up in my daily. My mom did a presentation this morning on one of the distinctions of leadership, which we all are, we're all leaders, but one of the distinctions of leadership being the importance of risk, the importance of not only just taking risks, but risking being your character. One of the gentlemen on the call brought up the fact that how important it is to risk showing up in your character. I mean, think about that for a second. It's actually risky. We now live in a society, we now live in a culture where it's actually risky to just show up as ourselves. It's a risk. It's a risk to stand in our power. It's a risk to trust our voice. It's a risk to take a stand for what we believe. It's a risk to talk about faith. It's a risk to talk about politics, government. It's a risk to want to give your best friend feedback of what's not working. It's a risk to get married. It's a risk to walk out your door. There's all these risks that we take just in standing in character. And so I more than anything just want to give you permission today to risk being you and identify that it actually is risky being you. It's risky being you because at the end of the day, you're getting judged, girl. You are going to be judged. You will be judged by people around you. You will be judged by God at the end of the day, and you will judge yourself. And so you might as well take the risk to stand in your character. And I titled this, I almost chose risk, because when I was building out SMART, I got to R and I was really like, oh, should I pick risk? Because the smart woman risks, or the smart woman is responsible. And so I landed on responsible because it really is responsible to be a risk taker. It's responsible. It's responsible to show up in your true authentic form. It's responsible to do what scares you. And doing what scares you, at the end of the day, you guys, I'm not trying to take away the fear, okay? The fear is going to be there, so you might as well just deal with it. Just let it be there. Be like, fear, I see you, I got you, and I'm doing it anyway. I'm going to take this risk anyway. And I remember and Sue reminds me with this song, which I'm going to read to you, the risk I took in building out Vision to Business. Like, I want you to know we're on Vision to Business 6 right now, and I feel so lighthearted and excited about Vision to Business. But most of the time when I do Vision to Business, I get scared. I get scared that I'll be judged. I get scared that I'll say something that will offend somebody. And now I don't have that anymore. And so the risk now is, what lengths am I willing to go to get this event out there so that every woman, and there's even men coming now to Vision to Business. They're like, no, I feel like I'm a fit. And they're like selling me on why they get to come to Vision to Business and why they are an open, vulnerable, connected man who just wants to learn, and how they want to grow and how they want to serve and how they want to trust their own voices. Because it's not just women, it's men too, who take the risk more so than ever in being vulnerable because they've never been allowed to be vulnerable. I mean, as women, we kind of are given free rein to cry, to experience our emotions. And yes, false evidence appearing real. I also know that acronym. But if we just focus on the men for a moment and the risk that they have to take in order to be open, they risk being called a wussy. They risk being called a loser, whatever else comes up. I'm not sure, because I love vulnerable men. My dad's my dad's been open and vulnerable my whole life. And so I'm used to seeing men express and feel their emotions and be passionate. But I landed on responsible because of the importance of taking risks and how responsible it is of me that I took the risk in starting my first Vision to Business. And I founded the first Vision to Business on, okay, if I can just serve 10 women, that's enough. And of course, I had 10 women in the room. 10 women in the room at my first Vision to Business, and from there it grew and it grew and it grew. And this Vision to Business, we get to have 100+ women in the room with us, women and maybe some men as well. So I want to read you the lyrics from this song. They gave me goosebumps. They brought me to tears. Like I said at the beginning of this live, I just finished crying. That's why my eyes are puffy. And this is just the power of friendship and the power of people going the extra mile, the extra length to take a risk in losing their time, right? Like Sue doesn't have time, but she knows that it's important that she pours into me because she understands the risks that I take for others and the blessing that I am because of those risks. And she takes initiative to fuel me because she knows how hard it is to take the risks I'm taking. And so that's why I'm here. Mom, my mom's here now. I was just talking about your live this morning about the importance of leadership and taking risks. So I want to read you this. I don't know if I'll be able to rap it for you. And I won't play it just in case it doesn't come through clear, because I'm actually going to post it in the group itself. But I want you to listen to these lyrics. Building from the ground, work hard. I gotta give you your crown, run around town, taking charge, making big moves, such a powerful woman and successful, impactful, gotta change lives, serving others, never serving your pride. But take pride in the things you strive for, never settling, you turn the tide, you hit a stride, what a coach. I learned from you everything I wanna be, you instilled in me. It ain't about just doing necessarily, but it's an art to just being me. And Tara, that's real. What a role model. I'm on the road with you, flooring full throttle. All facts manifest destiny. If you want, believe it, cause it has to be. Face everything and rise, because what you want's on the other side of fear. So hold tight. Go ahead, girl. Spread your wings and fly. You're on a mission from vision to business, from vision to business. Inspire me to be more, to see more, giving out keys to a closed door. Growing a community of women to lead. You're supplying the gems and the tools we need to take over. The Smart Women Group, assembling troops for someone to follow your boots. To my general, I salute, cashing the loot. A superwoman in a suit, yeah. What a coach I learned from you, everything I want to be, you instilled in me. It ain't about just doing necessarily, but it's an art to just being me. And Tara, that's real. What a role model. I'm on the road with you, flooring full throttle. All facts manifest destiny. If you want it, believe it, because it has to be. Face everything and rise. Because what you want's on the other side of fear. So hold tight. Go ahead, girl. Spread your wings and fly. You're on a mission from vision to business. From vision to business. Face everything and rise, because what you want's on the other side of fear. So hold tight. Go ahead, girl. Spread your wings and fly. You're on a mission from vision to business. From vision to business. Staying true to your beliefs. All of your inspiration for the team, all of your girls believe you will succeed because you walked, and now we're taking leaps, changing the world one girl at a time. Face everything so we can rise. Is this not so beautiful? Oh my gosh. And wait till you hear the girl like actually rap it. It's legit. It's so incredibly powerful. And my favorite thing in this thing here is when they mention us, when it mentions the Smart Woman team. And that's what we are here. We're not just a Facebook group. We are a team. We're a team of women coming together. We're linking arms. Listen to me. I'm rapping over here. I'm like, da-da-da-da-da. Oh my gosh. I'm such an audio visual person. You know, where it says, growing a community of women to lead, you're supplying the gems and the tools we need to take over. Smart Women Group, assembling troops for someone to follow in your boots. To my general, I salute, cashing the loot, a superwoman in a suit. These words to me, they fill me up, and they remind me the importance of taking risks. Had I not taken the first risk for Vision to Business, had I not walked through my fear of nobody showing up, nobody caring, nobody thinking that I know what I'm talking about, nobody thinking I'm smart enough, major imposter syndrome, zero courage, all of the things that were adding up that pointed to don't do Vision to Business. Who do you think you are, Tara Oldridge? You know, and I wasn't even Tara Oldridge at the time. You know, another risk I took. I just changed my last name because I was sick and tired of not being married. I was sick and tired of not having the same last name as my kids. So I just changed my last name. I'm like, I don't need to get married to change my last name to Oldridge. So here, I'm Tara Oldridge, period. Bye. You know, and there were people who were like, but you're not married yet. Like literally, some of the most powerful women in my life at the time were like, but are you married? Like, why did you change your name? They had an opinion about this, you know, and it's so like, my point is, you've got to take a risk. And I know that you want to be safe. I know that safety is comfortable for you. I know that safety is something that you've gotten really used to. You've gotten in the habit of squashing your voice and playing small. So ultimately, so you can stay safe. And there is no risk without, or there's no reward without risk. As my sister mentioned this morning, there's no reward without risk. And so in order to take a risk, you've got to use your voice. You've got to stand confidently. Even when you're not confident, you've got to stand confidently in your character. And so that's why it's so important that you come to Vision to Business. I was saying yesterday, Vision to Business is not my event. It is God's event. He completely takes over. He's created it. He's designed it. I just facilitate it. And it's a risk to come. I get that. And I know maybe some of you are thinking in your minds, well, oh my gosh, when I go to this event, I'm going to be held responsible for creating something. And you will. And I will hold you to that. And I will remind you of your commitment that you made at Vision to Business often. Here, for those of you who've watched and come to a previous Vision to Business, what was your commitment that you made? Who were you committed to being after that event that maybe you haven't stepped into fully? You get to come back. You know, don't beat yourself up over it. Just come back. I know you failed, and I know it's risky to try again. I know you failed a lot. I know you failed many, many times, and I also know that there's probably people in your life who are telling you about your failures, reminding you of your failures. I get it. I have that too in my life. Oh, remember when you didn't do this? Remember when you didn't do that? Oh, remember when you said you were going to? Yep. Thank you for being patient with me. This is my answer. Yes, I do remember. Thank you for being patient with me as I walk through, as I grow, as I create. Sometimes not everything works out. So I don't stop. I just carry on. And it's a risk to carry on. It's a risk to be afraid. It really is. It's a risk being afraid. Because you risk your heart. You risk, More than anything, what you're really risking is creating something extraordinary. When I say at the end of these lives, create something extraordinary today, what I'm really calling you forward into is stepping outside of your comfort zone. What I'm really calling you forward to is taking a risk, being risky. And so when you are looking at the acronym of SMART, just remember when you get to R that it also is R for risk takers. The smart woman is a risk taker. No matter what that risk is, she leans into it. Whatever it is that you're like, ooh, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have time. I don't know if I have the space. I don't know if I have the money. I don't know if I have the capacity. I don't know if I'm smart enough. I don't know if I'm courageous enough. I don't know if I'm pretty enough. I don't know if my teeth are straight enough. I don't know if I'm skinny enough. Whatever it is that you're coming up with in your mind, because there's a million things. When there's not one, there's two. When there's not two, there's four. They duplicate inside of your mind until you can start to manage that and step into it. That's a risk. Leaning into your limiting beliefs, plucking them out one by one and getting curious about them and saying, I don't know. I think I might be smart enough actually. And then reframing it for yourself. Reframing what smart actually means. You guys, when I first started my business, the number one thing I said to myself was that I'm not smart enough. I don't have what it takes. And God just kept telling me, actually, you do. Actually, you have everything that it takes and don't worry about the rest. And he's like, and if it makes you feel better, just reframe what the word smart means. Who cares? And so that's what I did. And I've created an entire brand around the word smart. Because being smart it's not a certificate on your wall. It's not all the books on your bookshelf. It's not your doctorate or your MBA or whatever it is. It's none of that. Being smart is from the heart. Ooh, see? All the marketing. It just keeps dropping. Being smart is from the heart, not the brain. Not the brain. Being smart comes from risking serving. Serving is risky. Taking a stand for what you know that you know, using your voice, trusting your voice, that's all a huge risk. Mastering your message. Picking one thing that you want to talk about. Like me, I want to talk about you guys being powerful. I want to talk about you guys being profitable and impactful in business. That's what I talk about. It's actually all I talk about. And I want to show you how to build off of your vision, build off of your heart, and create something extraordinary. That's what I do. I talk about that one message. I could also talk about a million other things, but I focus on that one thing because it's risky. It's risky to take a stand on one thing. It's risky to be in committed action because when you're in committed action, guess what? You're probably going to fail. Lots. The more committed you are, the more chances you have of failure. How committed are you? Committed action is number one. You have to be moving forward every single day, and you will stumble, you will fall, but you will grow. And there's risk in growth. It's painful, and there's risk in pain. And so the end result here is, what story are you making up about risk, taking risks? What stories are you making up in your head about failure being a bad thing? What stories are you making up about your past and what you said you were going to do that you didn't do? What stories are you making up about why you can't be confident, why you can't create something extraordinary, why you can't come to Vision to Business? You know, all these things. They're all stories. And here is what is really the greatest risk. The greatest risk is not doing anything at all. Not leaning in. Because you just die a really slow death. And I'm not talking physically, I'm talking spiritually, I'm talking mentally. You're seeing it all over the place. People are just dead. They don't want to feel, they don't want to connect, they don't want to open up their hearts in fear of being seen in an authentic light because they don't want to be judged. Nobody wants to be judged. You know, it's too painful. Nobody wants to experience that pain body that we've been given by God to grow us, to mold us, to stretch us. And so when we're not growing and being molded and sharpened, we just die a spiritual death. Yeah, And so you've all been given a purpose. I love that, Caroline, wasting it. Don't waste it. Don't waste your purpose. There's something so extraordinary about you. And I'd love to know from you, are you wasting your purpose? Like, take a good look. Are you wasting it? And you could be wasting it so many different ways. You could be wasting it on your limiting beliefs. You could be wasting it on victimizing yourself, self-loathing, self-doubt, not feeling confident. You could be wasting it on judging others, judging yourself, not trusting your voice. You could be judging, or you could be wasting it on validation, waiting for somebody to give you permission to be who God created you to be. You don't need that. You don't need that. So, I love you. I love you so much. Create something extraordinary today. Take a risk. I want to hear about it. Go live in this group about what risk you're willing to take today. Maybe going live in this group is a risk for you. Oh, procrastination is a killer. Procrastination is a killer. I'm procrastinating on writing my book right now. Thank you for reminding me. Procrastination. Ooh, I got to write that book. I got to get my voice out there. And why are you procrastinating? There's always something underneath procrastination. And one of the things that's underneath procrastination is self-sabotage. Because once my book's out there, what if it fails? What if it's not a bestseller? What if people read it and they don't like it? You know, all of these things. There's all the things in our head that we get to let go. Okay? So, coming from a surrendered position, what risks do you get to take today? Who do you get to be? Sign up for Vision to Business. It's completely free. Go to visiontobusinesslive.com. I can't drag you there. This is the 6th one. So just take a risk and get a ticket. It's free. You don't even have a financial risk. And I want to see you there. I want to see your face. I want to see you in this group. I want to see you showing up. Show up. Show up in your own group. Show up in your own community. Start building something. All right? I love you. And I'll post Sue's song. It's so beautiful. Okay. Create something extraordinary today. Bye.